Supergirl. What you want, what you need. Here.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to YouTube Daze. If you're new here, my name is Betty. We go over news. We go over getting ready with me, fashion, whatever it is. But today I wanted to show the filing that Tony Buzzbee had done. When people were saying the Jane Doe that was on NBC and how she was inconsistent and all of this stuff, what Tony Buzzbee wanted to show is that she was special needs. And anytime you have someone that is special needs, sometimes they can't remember dates and times. And sometimes you and I, we can't remember dates and times. If somebody asks me, what happened this day, what happened that day, honey, I'm not going to know. I have a severe brain injury. And so a lot of times I don't remember what I talked about yesterday, opposed to 25 years ago. Okay. So I was watching Tissa Tells, and she was talking about how it could have been in 2003 because Eminem did sing outside. The Charlotte Boys were there, the band, yada, yada, right? And then whenever Shapiro done his filing back, which there's been a lot of filing between all of them. Now they're saying that there's a lawsuit from a Jane Doe saying that Tony Buzzbee gave her, the herp. And then somebody else filing a lawsuit saying that Tony Buzzbee took their money. And JayZ was filing all these lawsuits to get this 13-year-old Jane Doe thrown out. And today, Buzzbee just really threw it to the judge of what's actually going on. And so I want to go over it with you because Tissa was right. When you have special needs, she even brought up the Archbishop and everything else. And it's really strange now that Tony Buzzbee put that in his lawsuit, which they allow about 4 years difference, right? So if she said the year 2000 and it was actually 2003, that's going to fall under the 4-year difference. Okay. So I just want to go over this lawsuit real quick and let you know that it's still going through. It's still going through. The judge has not taken it out. So let's go over it together. And I need to shut some of these things down here. But they're, also JayZ was having private investigators going to people's homes and stuff that had worked with Buzzbee and stuff like that. And so there's being lawsuits filed with that. Also, Tony Buzzbee filed a lawsuit against Rock Nation and a few other people, all due to this stuff with the PIs coming, saying that they're from Texas, trying to get them to go to another attorney that is affiliated with Rock Nation, which is highly illegal and against the law. And so we're going to go over this. Now, this is the same lawsuit that was filed between on Diddy. Now he put in JayZ, and there's another person, a celebrity, which when the filing was done by Shapiro, he wrote Jennifer Lopez. I don't know if that's the person or not. I don't know, but that's what BJ Investigates the surprise witness came out with. So I don't know, but we're going to go over this of what Buzzbee had said. Okay. So he filed and he said, Honorable Annalisa Torres. All right. Dear Judge Torres, let me make sure I get my glasses on here so I can see what I'm actually doing, because half the time I can't read anyway. So just bear with me here. All right. So by letter motion filed on December 13, 2024, defendant Sean Carter notified the court of his intention to file a motion to strike and motion for sanctions immediately under the rules 11C2 and 12F. As with defendant Carter's prior letters filed in this case, it is histrionic in tone, but substantively groundless. Defendant Carter threatens plaintiff with a Rule 11 motion based on questions raised by one single television interview concerning events occurring 24 years ago, when plaintiff was 13 years old. Defendant Carter also asked the court to alter the federal rules of civil procedure in his favor by abrogating the mandatory 21-day rule, 11 safe harbor period, without any legal support or factual justification whatsoever. The former is frivolous and the latter is impermissible. Defendant Carter's threat of Rule 11 motion is frivolous because it characterizes run-of-the-mill disputes of fact as proof that plaintiff complaint is baseless. None of the factual issues Carter identifies are sufficient even to grant summary judgment in Carter's favor, much less support Rule 11 sanctions. The fact that the defendant or potential witness does not agree with or recollect the facts alleged in the complaint does not and cannot give rise to a motion for sanctions for filing a baseless complaint. Defendant Carter's threat of an immediate sanctions motion on the first whisper of factual uncertainty is just one more instance of bullying intended to have a chilling effect on plaintiff's counsel, and any potential plaintiffs watching these proceedings. As Rule 11 motion is frivolous on the additional ground that expecting a victim of abuse over 2 decades ago, when that victim was a minor and, as her interview revealed, also autistic, to have perfect recall of all facts is outrageous. Defendant Carter twists plaintiff's words when he accuses her, for instance, of guessing at the timing of events alleged in the complaint, such as the length of car rides. But New York courts have expressively acknowledged that plaintiffs in this type of case cannot be expected to have exacting recall and command of all relevant facts. And then they go into the Priscilla and Roman Catholic Archdiocese, because of the fact we recognize that in matters of abuse involving minors, as recounted by survivors years after the fact, dates and times are sometimes approximate and incapable of calendarical exactitude, and approving all allegations spanning a 4-year window of time in which the abuse could have occurred. There is no basis for Rule 11 motion here, and if filed, such a motion would itself be subject to Rule 11 motion in response. Of course, we cannot prevent Defendant Carter from wasting the resources of this court and all parties in pursuing one. However, Defendant Carter's request that the court shorten the filing deadline for his threatened Rule 11 motion from 21 days to 1 day is entirely improper. Carter fails to cite any precedent whatsoever to support this astonishing request, because there is none. Carter also fails to cite any reason why the federal rules of civil procedure should be abrogated in his favor in this particular case. Again, there is none. The 21-day safe harbor under Rule 11 exits to provide parties and counsel time to access the objections being made and to withdraw or modify a pleading or other paper if necessary. FRCP 11, Ferrio versus Gullisee, I think that's how you say it. The safe harbor period has been recognized by the Second Circuit as a strict procedural requirement. Star MK Management Incorporated, Kun Chung Hong Ki Soy and Sauce Factory Ltd. See also Fierro. And then safe harbors required motion to be served 21 days prior to their filing. It cannot be shortened here because Mr. Carter and his counsel request as much, rather in an attempt to play gotcha or to exert additional pressure on plaintiff or for any other reason. From the outset, Defendant Carter and his counsel have surely maintained an entitlement to different rules and faster procedures. From the expedited briefing on the issue of anonymity and a summary dismissal of plaintiff's complaint to now a wholesome elimination of the 21-day safe harbor under Rule 11. In each instance, the goal has been to blur the facts and rush a decision. But there is aggressive advocacy and then there is bad faith. Mr. Carter's latest tactics, much like his open threat to refer plaintiff's attorneys for disciplinary action, cross that line. Moreover, outside the courtroom, Mr. Carter has employed tactics of intimidation and harassment, even more extreme, torturous, and quite possibly illegal. My firm recently filed a lawsuit in Harris County, Texas, that details how Mr. Carter's company, Rock Nation, and his counsel have bribed my clients to file lawsuits against my firm, threatened former clients, impersonated state officials, and engaged in other behavior far beyond the pale of acceptable conduct. Their tactics won't work, and they will be addressed in more detail in connection with the party briefings on plaintiff's anonymity. Like Mr. Combs, Mr. Carter is rich, famous, and powerful. Mr. Carter will exert all the pressure he can to intimidate and harass plaintiff, me, or anyone else. The chilling effect of those efforts is substantial, as is the potential chilling effect of Rule 11 motion being brought in these circumstances. But ultimately, in our court system, the rules are the same for Mr. Carter and for the plaintiff here. And the Rule 11 safe harbor cannot be arbitrated on his whim. Finally, Defendant Carter raises the statutes of my admission in the Southern District of New York. As with his previous letters to this court, his December 13 letter includes a substantial amount of defamatory suggestions about me, including that I am somehow attempting to circumvent the authority of this court to enforce Rule 11 against me. That is nonsense. I am a member of the State Bar of New York and am admitted to Eastern District of New York. I intend to apply for reciprocal admission to the Southern District. The fact that I have signed pleadings and letters filed in this court does not reflect any attempt by me to evade responsibility for anything. The contrary, I have signed those pleadings and papers because I am lead counsel in this and other similar cases pending in this district. Respectfully, Anthony G. Buzzbee. So pretty much what they tried to do is they tried to go in, they tried to stronghold and say, hey, Curly D, they tried to stronghold and say that, you know, because she couldn't remember the times, the dates, places, all this other stuff, that they just need to throw it out. There needs to be no discovery. There needs to be nothing. Now, we got to understand that we're talking about an autistic person. Number one, that shows to me he don't give a damn, all right, about whether someone's autistic or not. Number two, he's did everything to do a smear campaign to Tony Buzzbee, but Tony knows what he's up against, okay? So Tony's been filing lawsuits back and forth, but Mr. Carter seems to think he is above the law, and no one is above the law when it comes to the actual law. That young girl cannot remember certain things, but neither can I. I can't remember. If you ask me, okay, on what date did your grandpa grape you? I don't know. I can give you approximate times, approximate dates, approximate years, but I cannot give you the actual dates, the actual anything, the actual times. I can't give you that. I don't know. But take someone that is special needs, it makes it even harder. Especially when you're 13 years old, you're excited. You think you're going to get to meet all these celebrities, you know, all of these things. They have a different way of doing things. But the one thing I've learned about special needs is they do not lie. They do not lie. They always are very honest because that's all they know. They don't know how to lie. And that's one of the things that they're pushing through on this, is that when you're autistic, that's one of the things that they say most, is that they're so truthful. They're so honest. And that's one thing that she has stood on, is that this indeed happened to her by these two gentlemen and celebrity B watching. Okay. Now, not one time JayZ has, you know, he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But has he came out and said these claims are false and I did not do this? No, he has came and slammed Tony Buzzbee. He has now put frivolous PIs and stuff like that going to Tony Buzzbee's ex-clients and things like that, trying to get them to sign up by giving them money to put a lawsuit against him. All that stuff is illegal. And that, to me, to my opinion, shows the guilt. It shows the guilt. But you leave in the comments what you think. I always stand with the victim. I believe her. And if it would have happened in 2003, everything would pretty much line up. Everything. So leave down in the comments what you think. Until next time, I just wanted to let you guys know what was really going on, and that this lawsuit is still going forward. It has not been dismissed. It is still going forward. Tony Buzzbee just put in there that he is dismissing what Mr. Carter wants for his own client. Okay? So that's what this is about. The lawsuit is still going forward. It has not been thrown out, and they have to treat it as different because she is special needs. Hey, Raindrop. Hello, Curly D. Hello, Crazy Mom. I love you guys. I'll be back with some more news, but just know that I'm going to start actually going over the court documents with all of you. And thanks to Tissa, she was bored one day. She started looking up stuff. She started remembering Agnifilio whenever he said, "But Your Honor, my client, you know, was in the Catholic Church Boys." Well, that made her go back and start looking that when someone had gotten S8 from that, you know, it was special needs and they had to treat it as such. And so I love you all. Take care of yourselves. And just remember, just because someone's special needs does not mean that they are lying or anything else. It just means that their recognition of things, their recall of things are different. My recall of things are different, and I can't even speak half the time. And I'm not special needs, but I do have dyslexia and I do have a major brain injury. And so all of that plays different roles and different effects on everybody is different. But the main thing is they're going to go to court and prove that this girl is not lying. Okay? Till next time. Love ya. I'm out.
Betty on the streets, yeah, she brings the heat. Drama around the corner, feeling that beat. YouTube days, episodes unfold. Betty's got the scoop, stories untold. Navigating drama, twists and turns. Betty breaks it down, everyone learns. Go down low, she's got all the tea. Pull up to the screen, come and watch for free. Watch. Betty, on the go. Streaming live, don't miss the show. On the streets, she's our guide. Hip-hop dance, keep it locked inside. Every episode, every time, Betty's here, making it shine. Feel the rhythm, hit the floor. Betty's drama, always wanting more. That's the vibe, she's in the groove. Pitching and twist, she's got the moves. Drama drops, beats keep going. Dance all night, energy showing. Betty, on the go. Streaming live, don't miss the show. On the streets, she's our guide. Hip-hop dance, keep it locked inside.